What's going on, y'all? You already know, man. It's Thierry Vio back again with another video for Trillionaire Hustle, helping you build your financial muscle. Let's get it, man. Come on. I keep them videos coming every day. Yo, check this out. So today, I want to talk about a company that's very dear to my heart. It is one of my favorite brands of all time. Those who know me know I'm really into cars. One of my favorite brands of all time. I grew up in a third world country, right? But even when I was in that third world country, when I was very young, I was like 6, 7 years old. I remember my favorite line I used to say every day was Ferrari go vroom vroom. And everybody know there's one of the most distinct sounds you will hear is a Ferrari engine. Beautiful, beautiful masterpiece. All that. When you think of Ferrari, what the first color you think? Red. That's my favorite color. Ferrari it's a beautiful thing, man. Ferrari. So today that's what we're here to talk about. Ticker symbol, RACE, R-A-C-E. That's the Ferrari ticker symbol. Now, obviously I could have been biased by picking Ferrari to talk about or to invest in Ferrari, but it is actually a great company because value is value no matter what time it is. So anyway, we're going to get straight into the numbers for Ferrari, right? $200 a share right now. I mean, it's kind of been going down the last month or two, which is a great chance, great opportunity for you to get in, right? Now, even if you don't got $200 to buy one share, obviously we got fractional shares. Depending on the platform you're on, get your fractional shares. And when the stock is going down like that, but we know it's a great company overall, this is your chance to bring down your cost per average, right? So that's what I'm talking about it today, because it's been on a little slip, so you could get in for a cheaper price than somebody else, right? Last 5-year return for Ferrari, $201 a share, and the dividend yield is 0.51. So that is 51 cents per every $100 invested. Returns the last 5 years, 3.2, that's what it be, 3.2, 4.4, 4.0, 3.9, 4.2, 4.2. Now I want to focus on that 3.9, 4.2, and 4.2 because remember I said in previous videos, pay attention to companies who did not lose money or who did not tank in revenue during this pandemic. Those are bona fide strong companies that are not affected by obviously natural causes, or they're not affected by, how would I say it, because it's value, right? Like I was saying, value is value. So it's just like buying Louis Vuitton or things that are actually higher level material and things like that. Value is value. You're always gonna see a value. Just because the economy is changing or stuff is price of stuff is going down is not going to change the value of the brand, or it's not going to change how much money the company makes, because it provides a true value. So people are always going to be willing to pay for that value. Now, the car sector in the last 5 years have returned 112%. Ferrari car brand alone in the last 5 years have returned 421%. Again, value is value, no matter how you cut that pie, man. They're not losing money out here. 112 over the last 5 years for all car sector brands in general, but Ferrari alone, 421% return over the last 5 years. Another thing I like about Ferrari is that 61% of the shares are held still by the people who are actually inside the company, meaning the CEOs and the people who are running the company, or maybe I think some of the shares are still owned by the Ferrari name, the family. So when the company and the people who work inside the company still owns a majority of the shares, that means that their salaries and how much money they make is tied to the company. So I feel like that gives them an extra incentives to make sure they putting out good product. They doing their thing to make sure the company make money, because their salaries and their shares are attached to the company. So the company grows, they make more money. So of course that makes somebody want to work harder to make more money, right? So now, let me see. Another thing I want to think about, they're operating at a 51% profit. The whole car sector is operating at 33% profit. Ferrari's at 51. Their market cap is 38 billion, but their enterprise market cap is Market cap is how much the company's worth. Enterprise, again, is how much your company's worth plus your debt. That is 40. So market cap is 38. With the enterprise value is 40. So they're only in debt of about 2 billion, right? So, but that 2 billion they have in debt, one, that's long-term debt, right? Remember we spoke about long-term debt. Long-term debt could mean like the factory debt or contracts they have that have to be paid out over time. Short-term debt, they have zero. A donut for short-term debt. That is beautiful. I mean, they're not borrowing money from the bank to go make cars, or they're not borrowing any money like they're not borrowing money immediately. They're not short on cash immediately. That's great when a company has zero short-term debt. But even though they have 2.2 billion, about 2 billion in debt for long term, they still have about 1.67 in total cash on hand right now. So if they wanted, they could clear up most of that debt, about 60-70% of that debt if they really wanted to. But that's long-term debt. They know they're gonna make money by selling cars and they're gonna pay that debt over time, which is perfectly fine. Smooth for me, man. So like, yeah, that's the numbers for Ferrari, man. I love it. It's a beautiful thing. Now I want to talk about some of the fun facts about Ferrari, why I love Ferrari, right? Listen, every Ferrari is made to look like a masterpiece. It's made to literally hang up in a museum. That is why Ferraris are so special. The sound is special. The way they look is special. They are made to hang in a museum. You have to be allowed to own a Ferrari. Not anybody could just walk in the dealership and go buy a Ferrari. It don't work like that. You gotta apply and you gotta get approved to buy a Ferrari, right? I'll tell you a quick funny story about that later on. So, and then if you own a Ferrari, one of the things that keeps the value of Ferraris, if you own a Ferrari, which if you want to sell it, the dealership who sold it to you has first dibs on that. They're more willing to buy it back from you because they want to keep that mystique about the value of Ferraris. And if you had a good customization to your Ferrari, or if you have one of the classic Ferraris that they did not make a lot of, they're gonna be willing to buy it back from you for around the same money that you spent on it. So you're not really gonna lose, excuse me. Another thing, you have to agree that you cannot do your own oil changes. You cannot change the color of the car. They don't really like when you put wraps in the car. All of their paint colors, their paint jobs in the car are very high-end paint jobs. They don't want you messing with the paint because, like I said, sometimes they want to buy it back from you. But you can't do your own oil changes because they want Ferrari technicians to do it. You can't do anything to the engine. But now, if you do want to customize the engine and do any of that, this is the thing. You got to just bring them to the dealership. They're going to do it for you. They just don't want you touching it because they don't want you to mess it up, man, because it's a masterpiece. It's an artwork. Like, bruh, just don't touch it. Just bring it in the dealership, man. Come on. Like, that's what it is, man. I love Ferrari. Oh, last key fact I was going to say. So the second thing was you have to be allowed to buy one Ferrari. So another big car brand we know, Lamborghini, right? Lamborghini actually started because the guy who started Lamborghini wanted a Ferrari, and they told him he couldn't get one, man. So he went and did his own. But they didn't tell him he couldn't get one. Enzo Ferrari was an asshole. Anybody who go look up Enzo Ferrari, the dude who actually started Ferrari, he was a real jerk. So I mean, because he was a real jerk is why also Ford created the Ford GT. They created the Ford GT40. In that movie, Ferrari versus Ford, that Ford GT40 was just created just to beat Ferrari at the Le Mans, that 24-hour race or whatever. But that car, Ford GT40, which is a very classic car, a very high-end car now, that car was just created to beat Ferrari. And then Lamborghini, he couldn't get a Ferrari, or I think Enzo told him he was too poor to afford a Ferrari, something like that. So he went and created his own car. So, I mean, because of Enzo Ferrari, still Ferrari, look at the two other cars we got from that. Ford GT40 and Lambos. Those two cars developed because of the animosity they had toward Ferrari, man. I mean, what can you say, man? It's a beautiful thing, man. But I still love Ferrari. My top two favorite cars of all time, obviously Aston Martin is #1 for me and Ferrari is #2. Those are just my two. Yeah, I love Ferrari, man. I love the stock. I love the company. It's a great company. If you want to get into the car, add some car stock to your portfolio, man, this is not a bad play right here, man. But anyway, like, subscribe, comment down below. I'm going to keep them videos coming. Tell your friends about me. Get everybody subscribed to the channel, man, so we can run it up, get them views up, man, get them subscribers up. But I love y'all. I want everybody to be successful. And yes, we can all win with stocks. We can all win with stocks. Let's get our financial muscles up. I love you. I'm out.